Hi.
I'm Joe, J-O-E. That's my face.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
And I'm not Bob LeMay, but I used his password to host the meeting.
Boy, we're really improving things here with all these add-ons.
I'm still Joy.
You always bring joy, Joy.
It's a joy to see you.
You
All right.
too.
It all depends how you guys want to go. It's just the five of us. And I was just going to give you a rundown on some of the things that are happening and some other things about mostly building things, and about what's going on with some of the rooms in the building, some of the different activities. Do you want me to start with that, or do you guys want to start with something else?
I'm fine with that.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
I
Okay.
think you're the leader. Take us
Well,
where
that's-
you want.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring up to your attention, and I think, Lori, that you know, or maybe you don't, but I have conversed with Angela, so she's aware. And I'm not going to get into my opinion too much, but I'm just going to make just a short statement. I was not obviously in favor of having a party of 50 people on Saturday.
Oh, okay. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Right. Well, I believe, and again, I'm getting older, but I think I talked to Angela about it, and she's aware. So that was back in supposedly September, that Bill approved that they could rent the gym, and they're renting it, which is amazing, from 9 to 4. And I have been told, maybe I will call them just to double check, but I've been told they are fully aware that the building closes at 4 o'clock, and they will be prepared for the closing, and hopefully they'll anticipate and clean up or whatever they have to do. Okay, so that's number one, and I'll still stay on December 11th, that Saturday. And then what I tried to do, and then, I don't know, sometimes you wonder, I tried to juggle a little bit, because there were 2 activities that are scheduled on the Saturdays, and that's one of them from 8:30 to 9:30, and that's a dance schedule. I don't know, what's that called, Joy? I always forget.
Turn up.
The what, dear?
Turn up.
Turn up. Okay, I forget. All right. So the turn up is usually 8:30 to 9:30 in the gym. And what I talked with Sarah, and I said, how about if we go to room 13? So on that Saturday, this Saturday coming up, that turn up will be in room 13, and that'll be the 8:30 to 9:30 schedule. And then I had our dear friends, the pickleball people, and I've been trying to talk with, God, my mind. What's your neighbor's name? Mr. Brennan. Brent, what's his name, Doug? Your neighbor?
Norm Broomer.
Norm Bremer. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Norm.
Norm's on the phone. I apologize, Norm, for butchering your name. So I've been talking to Norm to try to have him as the point man for pickleball. And I did talk to him earlier today, and I said, how about if we can do this, that those other people are scheduled to come in at 9. If you guys want to play an hour, and I said it wouldn't be a problem, because I know the Y opens the building at 7. So I said, if you guys want to go from 8 to 9, that's okay with us. And the only thing is they will be able to throw you out at 9 o'clock. And Norm was agreeable to that.
What days are that?
This is on Saturday, just Saturday.
Oh, okay.
December 11th.
Okay,
This is because, you know, they're both losing a place to go, so that's why
Right.
we're using room 13, and we're gonna let the pickleball players go from 8 to 9.
got it.
Okay? And
Right.
then, just a couple other things, just that, so everybody knows, that on, December 24th, the building, that's the, Christmas Eve, the building will close at noon. And on that day, what Sarah requested, and I talked with Angela, and it seemed to be okay. On that day, on December 24th, which is a Friday, she will move her dance at 8:30 to 9:30 on Friday, December 24th, because the building will be closed on Saturday, December 25th, Christmas. Okay? Just so you guys know if anything. And then I'll go on. Then on December 31st, which is New Year's Eve, the building will close at noon. Okay? Now, Sarah wasn't anticipating, you know, what was going to happen on January 1st, so she requested also on that Friday that she could have the dance on Friday also from 8:30 to 9:30, and because the building closes at noon, we said that was okay. And Laura, I'm 99% sure that I've had this conversation with Angela, and she, I believe, is fully aware of everything I'm saying. And
Well, the only thing is, Joe, so we as WISE, we all close at noon on both the 24th and the 31st.
yes,
And then we are also all closed on Sunday, the 26th, the day after Christmas.
well, you're all, okay, let me make sure that I understand unless something has changed. That's a given. You've been closed on Sunday forever.
We have. I keep forgetting. Yes, we have.
Okay, so that's not changing.
Right.
Okay, good. I'm not saying we don't want it to change, but I just want to make sure we're communicating.
Yep.
But you are going to be open on January 1st.
We are, yes.
Okay, normal hours.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so that's good. What else was like? Oh, and the other thing I've said, and hopefully nobody springs any surprises on me, because I had talked with Mr. LeMay about the party and stuff like that, and he had mentioned to me that I guess they're going to bring it up to the at the town council meeting, you know, about renting the space out. Because I don't think right now at this point in time, you know, 50. I don't know. You know, there's so many different theories on the virus and everything, but you know, I think that's a concern. And the only other thing I mentioned to Bob, you know, everybody says something until it doesn't happen. I said, okay, you know, we got to live with this party. I understand that, fine, but let's go. No parties, no other parties in December. I don't want to go any further. Let's just lock out December. We don't need any other parties. We don't need a New Year's Eve party, or we don't need anything else. And hopefully he said yes. So we'll see if any of that comes to a change. Okay? Now, then okay, I'll stop right there. So that's about what I know about the scheduling. I have talked to Norm and the pickleball people. They're accepting what they have, and they're looking for, you know, they'd rather be at 8:30 to, you know, be earlier. But I said, right now, that's the way we have it set up. That's the way it is. We're not changing right now and see what happens. All right. Were there any comment? Joy, I saw you on that email. Did you want to say anything else on that, Joy, or are you okay with that?
I'm good with all of that, but Sarah did send me a thing to read to you guys as long as we're on scheduling, if I could. She just wanted to confirm and review, you know, the dates of her things with everyone. So I'm just going to read this to you. It says dates to confirm / review. They're going to have a first Saturday arts program. January 8th is going to be the first day. And then they're going to have it the first Saturday of every month throughout the year. April and September dates are to be determined due to holidays near the dates. And they're looking to use room 13. I think they've already cleared this with you, Joe. Room 13 from 9 a.m. to noon.
Right. And that's, I'm sorry, Joy, let me just make sure I'm hearing it right, which I am, that we're talking about once a month, and actually usually the first Monday, a Saturday of the month, or whatever month, or whatever day they pick. Okay,
Correct.
that's fine. I understand those.
Okay, then there's turn up Saturdays, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. in the gyms, except for the date changes due to holidays, which you just mentioned. And she'll be moving to room 13 for December 11th. Tai Chi, Tuesdays in the gym, starting January 4th, and a possible time change to 3 p.m. She'll let us know as soon as she knows.
Now, January, I'm sorry, let me just, do you mind if I just ask you? Now, so we're still Tuesday? I don't have a calendar. Is January 24th a Tuesday?
This is January 4th.
Oh, 4th, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's a Tuesday.
Okay, because that's what she had. They had Tuesdays, and what were they doing? They were going like 5:30 to 6:30, I think.
Right.
So that's
Might switch it to 3 p.m.
to 3 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Right.
Okay, we'll think about that, but hopefully she knows before she can do that, we gotta prove that.
Yes.
Okay.
And then she has new events. They're adding bingo in January. They would like to request room 13 on a weekday evening, either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Wants to know if we have a preference, either 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. or 5 to 6 p.m.
Okay. And she's anticipating starting in January?
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing, though, if you could make a note to her, I think it'd be good if she would just send it out to all the committee members, so you don't have to be the only person that carries the burden.
Yeah, I mean, she just did this at last minute last night because she realized she had parent-teacher conference today and she couldn't make the meeting, so.
Okay. Now, Joy, I'm sorry. I was going to talk now about the bingo.
Okay.
Now, and again, I don't have any idea. Like I asked one time, how many people? And she said she has about 5 or 6, reasonable. Okay. Now, here I am telling everybody not to do stuff and not to bring a lot of people. And now, how do we kind of get a hold on how many people for bingo and what's reasonable? And room 13 is a little bit smaller room than the gym, obviously. And what is our thought process on that?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really even thought about it yet. I don't think she has any idea how many people will show up for bingo, but if in January it's still not safe, I think they'll have to adjust at that time.
So, because right now, and hopefully it's just a lot, it's a concern, obviously. I can't even pronounce the new one that they have. What is it?
Omicron.
Omicron. All right. And I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have. Now, it'll be interesting. I don't know how far Bob LeMay is going to go with any conversation at the town council meeting. So
Okay.
that'll be number one learning process for all of us, what maybe their thoughts are. And
Okay.
maybe we should just make sure, if you want to tell her that this January 4th, might be coming. We don't know. I would leave it, and I don't know, I want your opinions. I would leave that as a open question based on, number one, what does the town council have to say about all of this? I never mentioned this January 4th yet, so obviously I don't know if I should to Bob. And the other thing is, like you say, we don't know. So how do we know, or how do we estimate? That's my thought process. What does the rest of you guys think?
Let me ask a question here. Let's say if the county goes into the red, and all at once that might dictate how the town council in Long Beach might react, which would also give us a some kind of a cushion here, because right now you're pushing pretty close to that red envelope as of last week. And if it goes into the red, then all at once there's some new mandates that may show up, or, let's say strong suggestions maybe is a better word nowadays, politically correct. How about something like that? If all at once the numbers go, sky high, then, we go into a different ball game than if it's more of what we've been seeing as a normal for early December. Your thoughts?
Sarah understands that everything she's planning could possibly be canceled by the town council, and they all understand that, but they're going ahead with scheduling anyway, just, in the event they can do it. But she is aware that they may be shut down for safety reasons.
All that makes sense to me. I mean, that's how I would run the game. So now a question on bingo. Is there a lot of money involved in this, that particular high stakes place?
I have no idea how bingo is going to work.
All right. Okay, because that's the other thing that, I'd like to follow a certain pattern, and I know somebody's going to say, well, wait a minute, you guys just had a 50 people party, and we just want to have bingo with 25 people. What's the big deal? And that's my concern, and I think I'm willing to buck that, because whatever we did, we did. But like, hypothetically, I don't know, what do you guys think? If there's 25 people, are we even, let's even start from the beginning. Are we even restricting anything on January, let's say right now, as it stands, January 4th? Do they got to wear masks? How far apart can they sit? Are we talking about that? Are we asking that?
So, in my perspective, all of this is outside of our wheelhouse. We don't have the authority or the knowledge or anything else. I mean, we're completely, we have to be completely pass all of this responsibility back to the town council and events. So if anybody says, hey, last week somebody got to do that, our response is, I don't care. This is what the rules are right now.
Yep.
Okay, so do you think it'd be prudent then, even though I won't be able to explain much, but I have no problem calling Mr. LeMay, and should I even mention that there's a possibility of bingo? We don't know how many people, and maybe that should be discussed at this, because the next meeting is going to be next Monday. So maybe we should try to get that in the discussion. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
fine.
Go ahead, Lori.
No, that was Joy. I said I'm fine with.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a fine idea to pass the buck.
Okay, so I will call Bob and just throw out all the unknown that we have. But I think on the other activities, I think we've been sanctioned or whatever, and we're going along with the rules, except obviously for the party. But take that out of the picture, the pickleball, the dances, those kind of things, they're rather small groups. And does everybody feel that one? All of that seems to be okay. And I will mention the January 4th. Is that appropriate for everybody?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Doug?
Yes, yes.
Lori, you think so?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right. Joy, I'm sorry I might have cut you off earlier. Was that the end of your letter?
That was.
Okay. All right. So now, if there's any more discussion on that, I'm going to bring up another topic. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So let me give you a heads up a little bit about what's going on with the rooms. Now, I know these damn numbers now by heart, but if you go past, as you go in the building and you walk past the gym, the YMCA, I apologize, the YMCA, you get to those two bathrooms, okay? And then next to those two bathrooms is something called room 7, okay? Then if I stand also at that same location, because all three of these rooms are right there, then where we used to, I don't know, it's funny, Amy's old room. Amy's old room is where Amy did the exercise, and that's where Lorelei moved into for a while with her work, and that's room 9. And then the other room with Lorelei is room 8, okay? So these are the 3 rooms that I was just going to talk about. All right? Does everybody understand the rooms, just so I don't? Okay. So I've had a conversation. Now I'll talk about room 7. I've had a conversation with a couple, and that they were interested possibly in room 7. And I don't remember, Joy, did I ever tell you the rest of it? I know it's Pilates, not Pilates. What is that exercise thing?
Pilates.
Pilates something. Lenore, do you remember the rest?
No, but it's a machine with Pilates.
Yeah, it's some kind of machine. I never knew that they did machines, but it's called Pilates something. Rain or I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, this is what she'd like to bring in, this Pilates. And she would have to purchase these devices, whatever they are. I guess there is some expense. And I think just from the short conversation we had, I think she's talking about possibly having 4 of them. And, because room 7, obviously, the previous renter, he spent a lot of money fixing it up. So it is a nice, pleasant room. Inside it has a sink, it's got a closet, and it's right next door to the bathrooms. So that's number 1 that they're interested in possibly, and she's thinking of starting in February. Okay? So then then there's 2 things. One was the price. Well, that was the guy that was there, was Mr. Price, but the amount that for the rent, and also what I asked Bob LeMay, and maybe he's going to discuss it at the meeting. I wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page with the town council, because they're talking about finding the manager for the town. That's what they're talking about. That search for the manager. And then I heard rumors that possibly if they did, that person would need a place to locate. And I heard they threw up room 7. Well, I wanted to make sure that they understood. I don't think that's a good place for the town manager to be isolated, but that's not my concern. So I think they might be bringing that up at the town council. Okay? And then number two, I don't know, it was mentioned to me by the people that are looking at it, whatever, that they found out that the previous tenant was paying X amount of dollars. And I said, well, that was nice for him because he did spend a ton of money fixing it up. And I said, it'll be about what the other guy was spending. So, and I thought that was a reasonable amount. If we get something back from the town council that says it's okay to rent room 7, if we want to, we can have a chat about the rent. But I think it's reasonable. But like I say, there's nothing cut in stone because we got to wait for the town council to say we have to hold that room for a town manager. Okay, so that's room 7. Any comments on that? Anybody? Nope. Okay. All right, now, then in room 9, which is the room that Lorelei is using for right now for her, whatchamacallit, yoga. And what she was going to do with Sue Bissing at the end, they were going to get together possibly and share room 8 for an art room kind of, where then they'd have, then Laura Lee would have both. But as it turned out, that doesn't seem like it's going to work. So right now, as it stands, Laura Lee is going to move everything back into room 8. Okay? So that means come January, February, room 9, unless things change, will be vacant. Okay? Now, what I've heard from Bill is that, he's trying to share, which is a great idea, that he's talked to somebody, a potential person that might want to rent room 9. And I didn't get much of a feel for what that person would be doing or anything else. And I asked Bill, I said, Bill, before you go too far with this, would you get us involved so we can talk about what the activity is going to be? All right. Any comments about that?
Nope.
No,
Okay. All right. So then, that was my basics. The other thing, Larry, I was going to ask you, I forget what our list is, but we do have a short list on some plumbing stuff. And I was wondering if you had a minute to do that.
Yeah,
And then
sure. Here, let me go through the list. Okay, the vent stack, number 1, that's back in Susan Bissing's area, up through the roof, and the tie-in eventually with the roofer that might come back in and let's say the good weather in the spring, to actually flash in a bunch of stuff up there from the roof, but to get it temporarily less leaky as it is now. I guess that might not be in her room, that's one further over, but there is a vent going through that area. Urinal flush valves. There's like 3 of them, I think, maybe in there. The janitor's faucet at the slop sink. And we had talked about doing prices on, let's say, that toilet room that's inside, the overflow, like the old kindergarten room, maybe, I think it was, or the library, where there's, it's the same room where the vent stack goes through, but back in the far corner. It's a handicapped potential bathroom. I was going to grab some prices on just capping those particular pipes off to make them accessible for like like future renovation, which Doug is working designs up for that. And let's see. I haven't heard yet on the outside handle for the spigot to make it easier for the, the ladies to use with their, inside the courtyard. But those are the 5 that I kind of had in mind to do. There's also one that Susan Bissing had an idea for, which would be to change that small sink underneath the leaky vent to a regular size sink. If she would supply the vanity and sink that, we could get a price from our plumber to, plumb that up, to raise up the, all the services and the waste to get them to the proper height for standard size as opposed to a knee-high sink for kindergarten kids. Those are the ones that I had. If anybody remembers any more, I'm anticipating that I will be hearing from Josh soon, but I've been anticipating that for a month now. So
Larry, those repairs in the women's bathroom and the large group toilet in the old part of the building, those are all accomplished?
the one to the ladies' toilet, that's been taken care of. So that was done. They looked at the service sink area, but there hasn't been a determination because they would have to possibly close down the water supply to that area. They weren't able to see if there were any shutoffs that went back there to make it easier. And after that, we got into better weather and, finished up the jobs on the outside, and that's where it stopped.
Okay.
Doug, for some reason, I thought we had one in each bathroom, that we had one, I know the one in the ladies' bathroom, but I thought we also had one in the men's bathroom where maybe we thought, I thought, or somebody thought that maybe the ring was separated or something and it was leaking when it flushes. I think that was the one in the men's bathroom. Do you guys remember that, or am I?
That would be new to me, but if that's one of those things that need to be looked at, I can do that. The flush valves for the urinals and the old boys area where Bob Sikulski is still on the wall, those were brought to my attention by the janitor. He said that, they weren't flushing very well. So that looked like it might be another job for Poston, just to put some of those new packings around the, like the flush valves. So you guys have ideas? Let me know.
I don't know if he'd have to put in a new beeswax or not, but that's what the one I think that I was saying, because you had I'm sorry for stammering, you had the one in the woman's washroom. We're happy with that one, correct?
Yes, that was finished.
Okay, so there should be all of the 4 doors in the woman's washroom should be accessible.
Yes.
Okay, then I thought the one that would be in line, I think I'm looking at the right one, in line with the urinals, the one that's by itself in the men's bathroom, I thought that was the one that had a leak or something in the floor, and that might have been that fellow that cleans. He might have been the one that mentioned it. So
I'll take a look at it tomorrow, and if so, then I will put that on the the emergency list. Sometimes that pushes them a little harder, but like I said, I've been a little disappointed on how much pressure I can put that actually results in any good work, so. But I'm sure it's my fault because I'm a little easier on them because I've also been busy too.
I'm willing to bet that none of their customers call them unless they have an emergency. Because if you need a plumber, you need a plumber, right? So I think that's the nature of their business.
Let me ask this while I was just thinking, Doug. at one time, maybe we figured out why, but at one time, didn't we think we might needed a rod out, but we never did, and it seemed like it went away? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And is that correct then? We don't need that. We'll just see what happens.
Well, we don't know the source of what that was, but I think what it was the flush valve in one of the toilets was letting so much water going down, it was overwhelming that. And since then, since we don't have that amount of new water going into that drain, it hasn't backed up.
Okay. All right. Now while you're on the TV, what do you want to say about the lack of our trapping abilities, and if we should say anything else about the potential chipmunk, squirrel, whatever? We haven't had any luck.
Yeah, we got a call about a week ago, I guess, right around Thanksgiving, that there was a squirrel in the courtyard room. So, and the squirrel turned out, it was a chipmunk, I guess, further report. So I had a squirrel trap that we took it over there and set it in there, but so far, either he's so small he can go through the grid on the squirrel trap, or he's left the building or died above the ceiling. I don't know. But our working assumption, based upon no other information, is that it might have been a chipmunk that came down that drain pipe, got out through where it rusted out into the ceiling, and then came down inside the room, because there's you can see where he came down through the ceiling and into the room. But so far he hasn't communicated to us his further intent.
Let me ask you a question. That courtyard room, is that the same one that was like the overflow for the Susan Bissing sale the last time around? The one that I cannot get into because there's
Yes,
she has her own keys?
and she has the Y key.
Because I asked around at the Y to see if I could get in there so I could actually take the plumber in to look at the, the toilet room back in that corner. And
When Susan has her sale, she asks the Y for their key, and then she keeps it until she's done.
okay,
So, and the only other person that has a key, as far as we know, is Joe.
all right. So Joe, next time I'll be looking for you then, because I know that Susan just had another sale this weekend, from what I've heard from someone back behind me.
Right, because I think she has some leftovers, and I think I got an email where maybe I'm not sure, this Friday, she might try to have a final sale, and maybe she's finally going to be done.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we don't think she's using the courtyard room. We think it's just going to be her regular room. Is that right, Joe?
Right, well, what she's using the courtyard room presently for is storage of some of her racks and et cetera. Now, I did ask her, and I don't know if she did it or not, I should follow up on it, that she leave the door open unlocked, because there's no reason, there's nothing in those rooms to save. And the only reason we didn't think about giving it back to the Y, because if by some reason that door got locked and she was there when the Y wasn't open, that was the only reason we didn't give it back to the Y. But she was supposedly, and I'll check on that. And I don't know if you've been back there, either one of you guys, to see if that room is unlocked.
I have not, but I do have a question. Since that room is the same one that has that vent in, when we do the work for the vent, when I do corral him long enough to actually have him do that, then I'm going to need access for that. So,
you
Joe, if you have a key, then I'll let you help me get in there with them. But I'll try to get it scheduled far enough ahead so that, there isn't a problem, and maybe somebody can leave a door open for us.
And Larry, I without a doubt, I'm very comfortable that you'll be able to have a key. If nothing else, I'll give you my key right now. And the second thing, we finally figured out who the person is that can make these keys, because they all have those keys on them that say you can't take it to the regular guy. And we found that guy. So if I can give him a call and get an appointment, Doug, maybe I'll make 2 more keys, one for each of you, and then we should have plenty. Because the reason is, and I guess, and it's up to you guys to think about it, the reason I understood her is she wanted to have the key because, you know, she didn't want people to be able to open the door and take whatever stuff she's got in it. I don't know, but.
Hey, Joe, I'm all good with that. As long as I know that you've got a key and I can get to you. If I can't get to Susan, or to the Y, if the Y gets a key back, then,
Yeah.
you know, we're all good, because I'm not sure I want that big, you know, wide responsibility to cover them.
All right, Larry.
No worries.
Doug, do you have anything else? Did he fall asleep?
No,
Oh, okay.
can't you see us?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, there's a setting where you can see all of us at once, not just the one that's speaking.
Oh, God, I'd probably be overwhelmed.
Well, it's a nice afternoon. We can see everybody except for you, by the way.
I'm saving it for you guys so you won't be to have discomfort looking at my mug. All right. I don't know anybody. Lori, do you have anything that you want to throw at us?
You're muted, Lori.
There we go. See, I'm trying to be efficient. No, nothing on our end. We're chugging along like everybody else.
Good. Joy, how about you?
I got nothing, Joe.
Okay. Anybody else? That's it. I don't know. Do we even have anybody on with us? Do you know?
There's the 5 of us. Yeah, I can see who's on, and it's just the 5 of us.
Okay. Is there any more comments? I love the diagrams. I know Doug works hard at them. Is there any more comments about the gas and electric?
It'll be interesting to see that whether or not the gas use goes down a little bit this winter, since we don't think we'll be sucking air out of the building all the time, all winter long again.
Right. Right. We hope not.
Right.
Okay. I don't have anything else. I gave too much as always.
I move with,
If we have to do that, I'll second it.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
thanks,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Happy winter.